In every team in Tower of God, there are 5 primary positions. The first one is called the Fisherman. It is said that the Fisherman is supposed to be the epitome of all positions. The position is suited for close to medium range combat and is generally the main offense of the team. Fishermen tend to use weapons like a reel or a needle. Swords and other flat-bladed weapons tend to be scarce the higher you go up the tower. Mainly because the higher you go up the tower, the more dense the Shinshu is and the more drag a weapon like that would have. There are 2 types of fishermen. There's a reel fisherman, who basically use real inventory weapons to attack their enemies from medium range. And then you have the man-to-man fishermen, who go directly on the offensive in close quarters combat. Next, you have the spear bearer. This person kind of acts like a sniper. They attack from long distances using the spear. Most spear bearers are not very powerful in the melee situations, but they have pinpoint accuracy when it comes to throwing the spear. And they generally never miss, unless they're a good one. There are 3 types of spear bearers. There is a melee type, there is a range type, then there is a sniper type. For the most part, most of them are sniper types. But there are a couple spear bearers who can get in the action with the melees. Some spear bearers carry a special thing called pipes, which is basically like a magical coffin or case that they put their spear in. Because generally their spears are pretty heavy. If you guys are far in the manhwa, you will see that Rack uses it quite often actually. The next position we have is called a scout. They do pretty much what their name says. They move ahead of the group and observe the environment they are about to enter. And they gather information on the situation at hand. They also aid fishermen as like a secondary offense. They're usually lightly armed because they generally have to be very agile and swift and move quickly. If you possess weak mental strength, you really cannot be a scout. They also read the change in Shinshu and collect visible data of the environment. They do that by using this thing called an observer, and this actually sends the information back to the light bearer. There are 2 different types of scouts. One is basically a information gathering scout, and the other one is more of a battle-focused scout. The battle-focused scout is the one who backs up the fisherman. Next, we have the light bearer. The light bearer uses exploring devices called lighthouses to gather information. Also, a light bearer tends to make the plans for the team, and they generally come up with a strategy on how to defeat their enemy. The light bearer is key because most battles in the tower are fought in the dark. Generally, their lighthouses are some of the only forms of light that they have. When you really think about it, they are really the command center of the whole operation. Last position we have is called the wave controller. This is a position in the team that helps their allies by either attacking the enemy or aiding the team by manipulating Shinsu. A wave controller is the rarest position to be chosen for. Also, the term wave controller doesn't just mean a person who manipulates Shinsu. It really means that person is an expert or is a specialist in manipulating it. Like I said, this position is rare. For the most part, everyone in the tower can use Shinsu, but they generally use it in like a way of physical augmentation. Like they either put up a barrier or they use it to like amplify like their physicals, or they generally imbue it with like a weapon that they're using. But a wave controller knows how to use raw Shinsu at a level of efficiency that makes it way more powerful than imbuing it with an actual weapon. So like in episode like 1 or 2 of the 2nd season where you see Bomb just shoot like a blast from his hand, that's him being a wave controller and using raw Shinsu to that ability. A lot of people can't do that. That's rare amongst even rankers in the tower.